We ask Sapsu, the torch of the gods, what life was truly like in the dust and heat of ancient Canaan. Tonight, we're weighing the whispers of gnosis against the hard evidence of academic research. We're looking for the pulse of a civilization that the history books often leave for dead, and more importantly, we're exploring how these ancient echoes can serve as a practical map for the modern initiate. Welcome back to Son of Saturn, the podcast where we strip away the bias to explore the many faces of the divine and their enduring impact on our world. If you find value in these excavations of the occult, please share this episode with a fellow seeker. And if you'd like to keep our research fires burning, you can support the show at buymeacoffee.com/SOScubed. That's buymeacoffee.com/SOScubed. In our second episode, we delved into the dual nature of the goddess Sapsu, her reign over the blistering sun, and her transition through the underworld. Tonight we're going deeper. We're viewing Canaan through her eyes and examining the striking parallels found in the written records. Through Gnosis, Sapsu reveals a people who held a deep, almost sacred reverence for the land. This wasn't just survival, it was stewardship. They worked the soil with an eye on the next 100 years, valuing trees above almost all else. It's no surprise that figs and olives were the lifeblood of the region. But there's a deeper layer here. The recurring imagery of the tree likely points to Ashera, the great mother and fertility goddess who was inextricably linked to the very cycles of the harvest. While the history books often focus on the patriarchs, the vision reveals a different reality, a world where women were the heartbeat of daily life. In this Gnostic view, women seem to outnumber men nearly 2-1, holding the literal keys to survival as the managers of water distribution. This aligns perfectly with the linguistic and biblical traces of the time. Women weren't just physical life givers, they were the symbolic pulse of the community. We have to talk about the shadow side. The research and the gnosis agree life was fragile. With a high infant mortality rate and an average lifespan that rarely saw 40, death was a constant neighbor. This environment is exactly why necromancy wasn't some dark art to be feared. It was a practical necessity. If a relative vanished on a trade route, you didn't wonder, you conjured. If a child fell ill, you didn't just mourn, you asked the spirits if the well was poisoned. While men certainly practiced the craft, women were seen as naturally attuned to the veil. This explains a lot about the biblical narrative of the woman of Endor. Despite the laws of the time, the community around her knew about her power. Even the scripture admits her success. She truly summoned the spirit of Samuel for King Saul. So why does this matter for you, the initiate, today? 1. The balance. It proves that a magical life and a mundane, productive life are not at odds. They are two sides of the same coin. 2. The reframing of necromancy. It strips away the religious evil label and shows it as a tool for clarity and ancestral connection. 3. Endurance. The Canaanites weren't the mindless warmongers they're often portrayed to be. They were a people under constant threat from giants like Egypt and Babylon, fighting for a land they poured their blood into. When you feel overwhelmed by the empires in your own life, the gods of the Levant offer a blueprint for endurance. Until next time, keep researching and keep practicing. If you felt a connection to the gods of Canaan and want to share your experience, reach out to us at soscubed@gmail.com. That's SOSCUBED @gmail.com. Let us begin the descent.